And
Well, yeah, now, Dad pulled time in the penitentiary over the same thing that Sid Hatfield and Ed Chambers got killed for. That he was supposed to have been up there that day too, Dad. And he was a little late getting there. And Mom and Walter, my oldest brother and mother, they rolled right down out of their feet on the courthouse steps up well. Where their wives were with them, and they screaming and hollering naturally. And Dad come up the street. He just got off the train, and Mom and Walter went and told Dad to get back on that train that they'd killed Sid and Ed. He got back on the train between Welch and here. He knowed the conductors were on that train, and they were looking for him before the train pulled out. There was one coming this way, and he come in from above Welch, on up in the state somewhere. He'd been hiding around. And he got on the train, and the conductor said, "They're looking for you." So I can hear them hollering your name. They're looking for you. And people that had shot Ed, Sid Hatfield, Ed Chambers and Sid. But he got back on the train, and they hid him in the ladies' bathroom. And there's some lady in there, but she was in there just to help him. When they hollered, she answered, "I'm in here." And he was in there with her. Well, they got off, and about halfway between here and Welch, he got off the train and went hitting. He stayed in the mountains for, I don't know, years, 2 or 3 years. Mom would take food to him and stuff. But they promised they wouldn't kill him, and he finally gave up. And they tried him and give him 1 to 5 for blowing up a tipple. And this tipple was right on the McDowell and Mingo County line. Mohawk was the name of the town. But like I say, Bertha could tell you, Lord, she could tell you so much. And it does her good to get to talking. She's not bragging. She just likes to talk about it. She's heard Dad talk about it so much. And yeah, he went to the pen, and he was in the church at that time. And the main man over the penitentiary, the warden, he'd take him with him every weekend to his home in Huntington and let him do yard work, work in his yard and cut his grass for him, because they know he wasn't going nowhere. He just had 4 or 5 years for him. And he pulled 4 years of it. Is there anything you want to ask me, son? I just wanted to tell her that little bit. But Bertha could tell you so much more that you would want to hear, because she's seen a lot, knows a lot. She knows when they was looking for Dad, the way he had to hide in the woods and the hills. Around through here, he's been all over his mountain hiding. We used to live where you come over that first crossing up here, coming going out of town up toward North Maitland. There used to be a big house there, and we lived in it. And Dad stayed back in the mountains there, and Mom, some of the boys, the oldest boys, would take food to him and stuff.
Yeah, I got a couple questions here.
All right.
Where was you born at?
North Maitland.
North Maitland. That's what. Can you tell about growing up like in a town where there's all coal mines?
Do what now?
What was it like to grow up in a coal mining town? Just mines all over the place?
Well, that's all it was. That's all it was. It was about 1,800 men up this hollow worked up Red Jacket Hollow. You know where I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where we all was raised, all of us. I moved down to town here, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. Had an old club up here. Had a bar.
Your daddy, he was a miner his whole life?
Was in my, that's all, yeah. He butchered some, but when he had 11 children, he had to butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he done that on the side. We used to kill hogs for people for $10 a piece and cut them up and everything. He had a slaughter pit. That's the place where you knock the hair off them hogs. You got the swingle tree that comes out here and gets in each leg and pull him up under that shank. And then he cut him right down the middle, cut him half in two, and sawed his back. And he cut it up. Done all that for $10 a piece. But he worked in the mines all that time. He loaded coal. I've loaded coal. I've worked in pony mines. I've drove ponies.
Well, do you remember what your first job was in the mines?
Loading coal.
Loading coal?
Yeah, my dad was the boss then. Yeah, loading coal was my first job.
Ask him if he
And I
loaded.
loaded, I guess, 6 or 8 months. And they needed somebody on the tipple outside. The tipple is the thing where they put the coal over in the car.
Ask him what he
You know
loaded
what I'm
with.
talking about?
Yeah.
This belt line takes it down into that tipple. And then it goes over in the railroad car. I used to drop cars down there. After you get so many, they had brakes on them. You get you 3 or 4, and then one brake would hold them all. You drop them down below the tipple.
What would y'all load it with? Just shovels, or
Shovel.
you get paid by the ton, or?
Well, some of them paid by the ton. Now the big mines usually paid by the ton, like Red Jacket and the big mine. And these little pony mines, some of them just paid by the car, or some by the ton. We had carbide lights. You seen carbide? You seen a carbide light? Have you?
Yeah, I got one at home. My grandpa gave
Has
me.
he?
Back on, was it tough to get by on what they paid you, or how did they pay you good, or?
Oh no. The big companies had stores. You bought all your stuff at the company store. You bought your furniture at the company store. And you had to vote Republican back then. Yeah, you didn't get a job. You didn't get a job. They treated the Democrat like he was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and times, were tough, son. Everybody, these hollows were full of corn and big cornfields and gardens. And everybody had big families back then. There wasn't no such thing as birth control. There was 6 boys and 5 girls in my family. And families would get together and hold one day in one cornfield, and the next day we'd go to another family's cornfield and all hoe it out. And that time you get everybody getting a row, why, it didn't take very many times. You take 25 or 30 hoed corn. And I usually take the beans and the cornbread, buttermilk, sweet milk. I'd take her dinners to them. We had no horse and sled. We had to go out the creek with them.
What do you think about John L. Lewis? Your opinion on him?
Well, I thought John L. was a great man. He was a union man. He didn't, when he said strike, it ain't like it is now, this and strike and that don't. When he says come out, they all come out. That was all union, all of the unions. They had a time getting the union. Got kicked around and everything else trying to get it. And a lot of people, I know, a lot of them, they don't believe in union. But if it wasn't for the union right now, these fellows working for non-union mines, they wouldn't be getting nothing. But the union's why they're getting it. These companies don't want to go union, they're paying these fellows pretty good at non-union mines. You understand what I'm talking about? That's why what the union's good for right now. What few they got, they don't have very many.
I heard when they used to strike, there was a lot of violence between the operators and the miners. Is that true?
Well, oh yeah, that's true. Too much can't be said about that. You just come, right on down here, over top of the hill, right down here. If you'd have been here 2 years ago, you'd have thought you wouldn't know what to thought. See what was going on down there. And snow that deep. They was knocking scabs, knocking the windshields out. Company men, that it looked bad, but nobody didn't get killed. They broke arms, beat them up pretty bad. They had big boggins down over their heads. The union men did. Looked bad. That just happened 2 years ago. But they still didn't get this coal company to organize, massive coal company. They're tough. But here they was giving truckers twice what they would give them otherwise to haul the coal. But naturally, naturally they were going to they didn't want to go union, the coal company did. paid them boys good to haul that coal. But now, there's cutting them shorter every day. Them old boys, yeah, and got them big coal trucks and got home, fooled around, lose their truck and their home and everything else. That's what the company do to you. It said, now we're gonna give you 25 cents a ton to haul our coal, and that's all you're gonna get. They can say what they want to. They was giving $3 and $4 a ton back then, and the regular going price is 75 cents. They was giving them $3 a ton. Man, the old boy was making the money. But now look at it. If it had all gotten a union, they'd have had a hospital card. They'd have had a good pension plan. They'd have had it made. They'd have had it made. These boys drawing black lung. I draw black lung myself. And drawing their miner's pension and drawing their Social Security. Oh, some of them draw $3,000 a month. Just about all of it. You know, that's a good money. For a poor man.
What would you say to somebody that wanted to start mining? What advice would you tell them?
What would I tell them? If they go union, I'd say it's good. It'd be fine. They'd hire who they hire, and they'd pay them union wages and run a union mine. Because there's a lot of union mines are making millions of dollars, paying union wages, making millions of dollars a year. And why they want to? Some of these mines don't want to pay union wages.
I don't think he understood you.
Yeah, I wish you could got to talk to Bertha. How long are you going to be around?
We're going to go back tomorrow.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I wish you could. I'd seen Bertha. She'd like to talk anyway.
Yeah. Is that all you know?
She could have told you a lot.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
if they
but
want, if they'd be union, I'd like to see them better men mines every day through here.
He's going to get over.
Take a picture with you?
He's going to
Yeah,
get
you
over.
sure can. You sure can.
Just squat down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That'll be good.
You're Uncle Walter's brother.
Yeah, boy. Don't I look like him a little bit?
You look a lot like him. I used to love Uncle Walter.
Yeah.
Go down.
Bless his heart. Last time I
I
seen him
can't
was,
turn it off.
last time I seen him was down at Brothers preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was all down